Live. I'm Keith. I will be speaking with you today, and today we're going to be talking about how your online presence impacts lending. I think this is something that a lot of times we overlook as business owners because we just kind of don't think that lenders are going to be looking at us online. But today I'm going to show you and talk with you about all the different ways that you can what lenders are looking for, how you can get in, how you can update this so that as you're applying for business credit, as you're applying for business loans, everything you'll be ready for the lenders, be ready for them to look at you. So if you're just joining me, give me a hi, tell me where you're joining me from, and let me know your business name. Love to hear what you guys are doing out there and how we can help you out with it. So, all right, let's get started. So why do you need to be concerned about your online presence when you're lending? Now, there's a lot of things that lenders go through when they're verifying a business. The first thing is that it's your online presence is going to impact way more than just your lead generation, your ability to generate clients. You have to think of it as in 2023 is it's almost like your online store where, like, I'll give you a great example, Credit Suite. We don't have an office. Like, I live in Kansas City. Ty is in Tampa. Megan's, I think, in Oregon or Washington. Like, we're all over the country and all over the world. We've got team members from everywhere. So for us, somebody can't just come in and sit down and go, oh, well, I'm going to go talk to Credit Suite and drive to our office. So our online presence is essentially just like a store. It is like having a building in the middle of Tampa or the middle of wherever you are. So your online presence now has become way more essential and critical to lending than ever. And so when you're thinking about your business and when you're looking at business loans, you're looking at all your funding options, business credit. Understand that having your online presence in order is going to do way more for you than what you even imagine. And so today I'm going to talk with you about how you can tweak it, what lenders are going to be looking for, and some tips and some tricks to be able to make sure that when lenders start looking at your business online, that you're ready for it and that everything's set up and that you don't hit any snags with that. Um, so the first thing to understand is that lenders are going to be looking at your business. They are going to be going through your website. They are going to be looking at your social media accounts. They're basically going to Google you and they're going to find whatever they can about you. Some of the things they're going to look at is not just stuff that you're putting out, but they're going to look, are there any news articles out there about you? Is there anything that pops up that's odd, that's adverse, that may look weird, that may potentially throw up any red flags as they're looking at it. So why are they looking at your online presence though? Why does this really matter to a business? Why do they even care? I mean, it's like they're there to give us money. They're not there to critique our social media presence. The first thing to understand is that there's a lot of scammers out there. I don't think this is a surprise. I mean, we're seeing billions of dollars that have been siphoned through PPP loans. And so, like, just knowing that there's scammers, I mean, we all have seen the emails, we've all gotten the spam calls. We know that there's people out there that just they're not going to do the right thing. So the first thing that lenders are doing is they're verifying the legitimacy of your business. They're looking at you going, is this business legitimate? Is this somebody that is this person who they say they are? Is this business who they say they are? And part of the ways that they're going to verify that is when you're doing a lending application, you're going to have things like how much income, what's your revenue, how long have you been in business? Like, they're going to be asking you these questions. They're going to want to find out who you are. So what they're going to be comparing is they're going to be looking at, okay, you know what you're saying to us and what you're saying online, do they match up? Now, for example, if you go out and I'm like, hey, I've got a $5 million business and here's what we do. And then they go and look me up and I don't even have a website. I don't have any social media. I have nothing out there. They're going to laugh at me. They're going to look at me and go, you're a liar. That's not true. Because again, a website now is not just a website. It's not just something extra that you add because you have your business. It's really the centerpiece. It's kind of the cornerstone of your entire business. Whether you have an actual physical brick and mortar or you're completely online, your website is still the first place that anybody's going to go once they've talked to you. If people see an ad, they're not going to just drive to your building. They're going to go to your website. They're going to look at you. So your website, it plays a critical part in the verification of your business, proving the legitimacy of your business, and making sure that you are who you say you are. So what are the lenders looking at? Some of the things that they're going to be looking at is they're going to be looking at your products and services. I've had a lot of I've had a lot of people that once we start once we start getting into this process, once you start getting in, once they start getting into the building business credit, they start getting tied up on things like NAICS codes and all the little technicalities that are involved with fundability. But what can happen is you could look and you could go through our trainings and go, okay, you know what, found my NAICS code and this is what I'm going with. If that doesn't line up with the products and services that you're actually offering when they're looking at your website or they're looking at your social media presence, it's an instant denial. They're going to look at that and go, you know what, your NAICS code does not line up with the products and services. So what you're telling us and what you said are not congruent. And so that's the first thing. They're going to be looking at your products. They're going to be looking at your services. They're going to be looking at your pricing. Because if they look at me and they go, oh, you got a $5 million business, you don't have a website, you're advertising that you're selling things for $2, it just doesn't line up. The math isn't mathing. So keep that in mind, your pricing, and then they're going to be looking at your activity, like how are you engaging online? Who are you talking to? Who are you posting with? What kind of presence do you have? What exactly are you putting together? What are you doing with your time online? Are you out there? Are you promoting? Are you engaging with your audience? Are you really out there, or is it just a front? So having that stuff in place, looking and watching your activities, and just think of it this way: you don't ever want to do something online that a lender can come back and look at and go, don't like it, not going to give you money. I mean, it's one of those social games that we have to play, but we're entrepreneurs. That's what we do. And then the last thing that lenders are going to be looking at, they're going to be looking for they're going to be looking for red flags. Red flags are get a little bit different because this can sometimes be to the discretion of an underwriter, but really the main things that they're looking at is they're looking for, do you have longevity built into your business? Are you chasing different paths that really aren't going to generate long-term revenue to be able to pay off this loan? Are you engaged in defamatory activities? Is it something where, like, unfortunately now as business owners, we have to think about cancel culture? Are we saying things? Are we doing things online that could get us canceled, that could get the business canceled, have a detrimental impact on our revenue? And then they're going to be looking at your messaging. Is your message illegal? Is it incongruent? Are you going against marketing guidelines? Are you out here blatantly lying to people about your products and services or results? These are what lenders are looking for. And I'm not saying that lenders are trying to be the morality police. At the end of the day, the only thing they're concerned about is if they give you $50,000, are they going to get $50,000 plus interest back? Are they going to make money on you? That's the only thing they're concerned about. They're not concerned about your legalities and your industries, all that stuff. They want to know, if I invest in your business, is it a safe investment? So that's why they're going through all these red flags. That's why they're going through this process. So now let's talk about what you can do to prepare yourself. The first thing lenders are going to look at, hands down, every single time, is they're going to look at your website. They're also going to be looking at your email addresses. Just a quick note: there are some alternative lending programs out there, such as like the credit line hybrid, that aren't going to be concerned about like having a business email. But when you start getting into some of the more aggressive lending types, or you start looking at some of the ones with the higher limits, the lower fees, the longer terms, they're always going to be looking at your business, your email. They're going to be looking at your business website. So the first thing, make sure you're not using your Gmail account. Make sure you've got an email. So for example, I'm Keith at creditsuite.com. So if they go and look, they're going to pull up Keith at creditsuite.com and they're going to see, oh, he's got a business email, and it shows legitimacy. The next thing they're going to look at is your website. The website, hands down, is one of the first places that they're going to go. They're going to look at your website to see, again, they're going to compare all the stuff that we just talked about. Is it congruent? What's your pricing look like? Did you put the same thing on the application that's on the website? Is your messaging right? They're going to be looking at the details of what you're saying to people, how they're going about things, and or how you're presenting yourself and how you're executing things online. The next thing they're going to look at is your social media accounts. Why are they looking at your social media accounts? Seems a bit odd. It is. The reason they're looking at your social media accounts is well, I'm going to take a step back real quick here. So, as they're looking at your social media accounts, part of what they're looking at is going to depend on what kind of lender they are. So, for example, I've taken business loans out for like alternative lending, like merchant cash advances, revenue loans, things like that. And then I've also sat down with personal bankers at local banks and gotten bigger loans where we have to go through this whole vetting process. When you start working with in the bigger loan amounts, you start going to banks, you start looking more of the traditional lending. Let's say you want to position yourself where you can get hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars from a bank to get for your business. What they're going to be looking for online is they want to make sure that you're having a positive impact in your community. One of the weirdest things that I ever found out, I had a good friend that was a banker, and I didn't never went to him with the loan because I didn't. It was just odd. But like I used to sit down and have lunch with him, and I just asked him, I'm like, "What are you guys looking at when you're approving this stuff?" He's like, "We're first off, we want to make sure that they're actually having a net positive impact on their community. We want to make sure that if we put our name on your loan, that it's not going to have an adverse impact." So they're looking at your social media interaction. Now, some of the ways that you can beef this up is very simple. First, focus on building your online audience. Build a massive following on social media. The bigger your audience, the more you're engaged with them, the more trust you're going to build with lenders. And the reason that this matters is that it's a success indicator. If you're running, again, if I'm going to a bank, I'm asking them for $1 million, and they look me up on social media, and I'm just flying under my personal profile, and I've got 300-400 friends. They're going to look at it and go, this math doesn't make sense. So they're actually looking at what's your engagement. Do you have thousands of people who are following you? Are you getting people who are commenting? Are you getting people who are actually engaging with you online? Because that's a huge indicator for growth for them. Because if they see that you're out there marketing, they see that you're advertising, they see that you're really connecting with people, it's going to give them that sense of confidence of, okay, they do have a robust marketing strategy. They're not just out here just kind of winging it. There's actually a plan. They're scheduling. They've got everything there. So focus on your social media accounts. The other thing that I can tell you, focus on social and equitable interactions. Now, when I say social and equitable interactions, right now that can kind of seem like a far-fetched. It just kind of gets a little fuzzy. So let's make this really simple. Think about St. Jude's. Think about Red Cross. Think about these big organizations, these big nonprofits that are doing some amazing things to help out people. Aligning yourself with these types of companies, I had a friend who used to call it what do you call it, social engagement, or charitable engagement, social, any way you want to refer to it. But having these charitable engagements where you're showing, look, I'm supporting and I'm donating to, I'm engaged with, I'm helping to promote these different types of nonprofits, these different types of social causes. It goes a long way with banks, because now they're looking at it and going, oh, he was a sponsor at the St. Jude's poker tournament, and he played in this golf tournament, and he sponsored this, where now they're starting to see you as a member of society. They're looking at your business as something that's actually engaged in the local communities, as something that's engaged with actually being involved in the community and having a net positive impact. The other thing that they're going to be looking at is they're going to be looking at your ad campaigns. What kind of ads are you running? Are you running ads? What kind of presence do you have? If they go to your website, what are they seeing afterwards? Like, these are all things. And if you take a step back, it sounds like it's a lot of tedious little things, but really, when you take a step back, what they're looking at from a top-down 10,000-foot view is they're looking at it going, okay, how does this business perform? How do they work? Since we're in a digital world and we have a digital society, half digital, half real life, whatever you want to call it. How are they positioning themselves? How are they structured? The more that you can show them that you have a cohesive plan, the more that you can show them that you're engaged in growing your business and having your online presence and converting people and working with people and being out online and not just trying to grab people and pull them on the phone, the more they're going to appreciate what you're doing. And the last thing that they're looking for, and I know Ty talks about this a lot, but it's still a very good point, is congruency. They want to make sure that what you say on your application is exactly what you're saying online. If they want to make sure that your products and your services align, your business address, your phone numbers, everything. The more that you can prove that what you submitted is 100% true and accurate, the happier they're going to be. It reduces their reluctance to give you money. And if you really want to take a very simplistic approach to thinking about this and understanding this concept, I like to look at it this way. If I have somebody that I kind of know, that we're acquaintances, I'll even call them a friend, somebody that I'm not calling all the time. They're not coming over to my house, but we see each other out. We're networking. Maybe we'll go out to lunch together and see each other that way. If they come to me and say, "Hey, man, I'm kind of in a tight spot. I need 10 grand." I'm not just going to look at them and go, "Oh, well, you know what? I see you at networking functions. Here's some money." I'm going to look at everything. I'm going to make sure that if I take money out of my family's account, that I'm going to be able to get that back. Banks and lenders look at loans the exact same way. Do you have the money to repay it? Are you a good person? Are you a decent person? Are you out there doing something positive? Or if I start to kick up some rocks, if I start to look around online, am I going to find things that are negative? Am I going to find adverse interactions? Am I going to find that you're saying one thing over here, but what you're really doing over here is completely different? These are all things that lenders are looking at. And part of it is, I think a lot of it is kind of a social interaction, like a social score. Even, I'm not going to say social credit score, because that's just bad news. But they're looking at you going, is this person somebody that we want to be associated with? Are they a safe investment? Is their business sound? Are they congruent? Is everything up to date? So that's some of the tricks and tips to making sure that you're prepared for a business loan. Focus on your online presence, and the beauty of it is this, guys: it doesn't take a long time. You can spend about 10 minutes a day, post on all your social media accounts, get everything up, just keep things fresh, keep it looking good. Have your website. Once your website's set, you shouldn't have to be updating it all the time, unless there's any major changes or outside of campaigns, things like that. But having these things in place, taking a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, when you start applying for loans, it's going to smooth out the process. It's going to help you fly through that, and it may even earn you some brownie points with lenders that may be able to look at it and go, you know what, they're supporting a lot of the causes that I like. Let's give them a little bit of bump. Let's give them a little bit more money, or let's lower their rates. You never know until you ask, until you get out there and try it. So all of this stuff that we're talking about today, guys, is just one part of the fundability chart. And I'm going to pull this up for you real quick here. Just a second. And the reason I want you to see this is because I think this is very important for you to understand, is that when you're looking at getting a business loan, they're looking at all of these. They're looking at all of these factors. They're looking at your personal credit history, your personal data, your personal credit reports, the application, what you're submitting online, what your personal finances, what your business finances, all of your fundability, your business address, all of this stuff. They're taking all of this complex information, and then they're making a decision from that. What we're talking about today is just a small part of the fundability foundation. This is looking at your website, your email, your online presence. This covers two of the aspects of all of these different points inside of fundability. So this isn't going to be the end all be all to helping you get the money. This is really designed to be able to get you the tools that you need to start taking little steps in your daily actions, that when you need money, you can be instantly ready. Now, if you want to find out more about, if you want to learn more about fundability and how it impacts your business, what you could be doing to to get your business set up, you can check out. I'm going to pull up a QR code for you here. We've got a blog post right here that actually walks you through the steps of fundability. This will take you to a step-by-step process. We also have, and Alfredo, looks like you're hanging out with me here. Can you share the fundability mini course link as well? The other side is we actually have a course that walks you through all of fundability, and you can learn about that at creditsuite.com/foundation. And that's going to walk you through, that's going to help you to understand. No, you already did it, Alfredo. You're right. So creditsuite.com/foundation is going to walk you through all the processes of your fundability. So not just your website, not just your email. It's actually going to walk you through all of it. It's going to help you understand exactly what to do, making sure your business address is set up right, making sure the company name, the entity structure, all of that stuff is set up properly, making sure that when you go and apply, you're not getting denied for silly reasons like a phone number not lining up or using a Gmail account. We're going to help you bypass all of that and get you to the point where you can apply knowing that you're not going to be denied because you look fraudulent, or get caught on something silly that's just more of a technicality. So go check that out. You can scan the QR code; it'll take you right to the landing page. Get signed up for the fundability mini course. It's free. There's no cost to it. And it's really helpful. I mean, it's going to take you about an hour to get through everything, but after you do, getting approved for business credit lines becomes a snap. I mean, this is the exact same steps and the exact same processes we take all of our clients through as outlined inside of this fundability mini course. So go check it out. It's at it's again creditsuite.com/foundation. It's in the chat for you. And if you guys have any questions, give us a call. We're at 877-600-2487, or check us out on creditsuite.com. And if you have any questions about building your business credit, about getting approved for loans, we're more than happy to talk to you. Where do I get the chart you just presented? We actually, that's a great question. I'm not sure that we actually have this on our website, but I believe you can go to creditsuite.com. Yeah, this is it. Creditsuite.com/fundability. Throw it in the chat for you here. That actually takes you to our website and shows you it's more of a breakdown of everything that's included. So it's all of the content that is listed in there is actually spelled out much more in depth at creditsuite.com/fundability. So hope that helps, because fundability is a very, very big topic. Everything that's listed on that chart that I showed you, it's just one line, and then from there, like our content teams, our marketing team, we'll go through and spell it all out for you and write it all out. So the creditsuite.com/fundability is going to be a much better way to check that out. And if you guys have any other questions, or you like to talk to us, find out what kind of funding you can get approved for now, or to build business credit, sign up for a free business financing assessment at creditsuite.com/consult. You can talk with our account executives. They'll figure out if there's things that you need to do for your fundability right now. They'll give you that direction, and they'll show you the steps that you can be taking to start building your business credit, to find the funding that you need, and even help you find business loans right now and see if you qualify for funding at this moment. So give us a call, go to credit, or at 877-600-2487, or go to creditsuite.com/consult. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Have yourself a wonderful day, and we will see you next time.